When you have such a new financial business model, you will need to actually test it.
Rene Philippe, thank you very much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you here. How are you?
I'm good, Jack. Thank you very much for your invitation.
Oh, you're welcome. So today we're going to talk about Switzerland's Fintech Sandbox. Can you just describe what that is? It sounds kind of peculiar.
No, it's not peculiar at all, Jack. What it is, it's actually part of the threefolded strategy from the Swiss government to attract fintech startup. The first part of the strategy is to make selected change in existing financial law. The second part is to create what is called the new light bank license, but which I prefer to call fintech innovator license. And the third part is to create an unregulated area for fintech innovators, and this is what the Swiss Sandbox is about.
So that's what it is. Why was there the need for this scheme?
It's quite simple, actually. Basically, the thing is every day you have innovators which are coming up with a new financial business model. When you have such a new financial business model, you will need to actually test it. So that's why it was necessary to have an unregulated space where actually fintech innovator can test their business model.
So what kind of legal changes were needed to be made for this scheme to work, essentially?
Alors, one of the big hurdles up to now was as follows. Is basically in Switzerland, but for a few exceptions, only banks can receive deposit on a professional basis, okay? And so imagine you are a fintech creator and you want to test a business model, and your business model requires you to hold deposit. If you need to apply for a bank license, it will not work. So they have actually changed the banking ordinance, and they have added a new section, which is Article 6, Paragraph 2. And basically, if you receive less than 1 million Swiss franc aggregated deposit, if you don't invest those deposits, if you don't remunerate them, and if you explain in writing to your clients that you are not regulated and that the deposits are not guaranteed, then if you do all this, you can test your business model, your financial business model, without applying for a license.
So what are the practical applications of this Sandbox exempted scheme?
Practical applications, they are multiple. I mean, every day there is a guy in his office which is creating a new financial business model. But basically, for example, you want to test a crowdfunding platform. For example, you want to test an application for payment from person to business or person to person. Then you can use actually the sandbox to do the testing.
So what legal form may a sandbox take?
Basically, you can use one of the most common legal entity we have in Switzerland. The first one is what we call the GmbH, which is actually a Swiss limited company. The second one is what we call Swiss AG, which is a Swiss public limited company. There are a few differences between those two legal entities. I will not discuss them, just to mention that one of the differences is the capital requirement. If you set up a GmbH, you need only 20,000 paid up capital. If you set up an AG, you will need 100,000 Swiss francs, of which 50,000 need to be paid. One thing, if you are a startup, you don't have a lot of capital, you can start with a GmbH, the limited company, knowing that if your business model is successful, if you want to go further, you can actually transform your GmbH company to an AG.
Okay, so with that in mind, what happens when the sandbox reaches an aggregate amount deposit of over 1 million Swiss francs?
Alors, the day where the sandbox actually reach the threshold of 1 million Swiss francs, it will have actually to to contact FINMA within 10 days and to start the process to become regulated. Alors, the process to become regulated, it can be regulated as a SRO FINMA supervised financial company, depending on your business model. It may be to have to apply for a bank license, or soon, hopefully before the end of the year, we will have this new license, which I'm calling actually the Fintech Innovator License, which license will allow a fintech financial business to hold up to 100 million float. Okay. So it's quite interesting.
Very interesting. Well, Rene Philippe, absolutely fascinating stuff as always. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
It was nice meeting you.
You're welcome. And thank you for watching. If you like this interview and would like to watch more interviews with Rene Philippe, head over to dukascopy.tv.